what would you say is the number one challenge inhibiting successful real estate development on Guam? And what recommendations do you have to address that?
Um, the number one challenge is carrying costs for the developer. It's an exercise in futility. Now, because the process to acquire property here, and then increase the density so you can properly capitalize it, and then the types of financing and buyers that are available here, um, makes it very difficult to do anything at scale. And to realize the savings that we need to be able to do things at scale. So really, there's no systems in place, and there's been no plan ever put in place to deal with those specific market dynamics. And so we keep trying to attack the same problem, the same approach over and over and over again. And it's worked, but now we're in a place where market forces are extremely unpredictable. Supply side issues are significant. You have no real handle on costs, and the next black swan event is like over your shoulder. So there's so much inherent risk, but there's so much demand. And now there's just like this conversation, how do we fix it? And I just in having these conversations, we talk to these people and we say, man, everyone would love to hear this take. So we just started recording all of it, with the idea that we would build a newsletter around ideas that came from these conversations. So as an example, we talked about the demand for multifamily. And so in demand for multifamily here, well, fair market value rent is 2,100 a month, right? So okay, if fair market value rent is 2,100 a month, then what am I doing here on multifamily? Why? Because in my real estate experience here, Rob, multifamily has always been less than single family. But because of the rents increasing, now multifamily is becoming more valuable than single family in terms of there were situations in real estate where there the flip was to buy a duplex and make it into one house, knock down the wall, and it instantly increases the equity by like maybe like 10%, right? So
Hmm.
for a house flipper, I'm looking for duplexes with extended patios that I can enclose and then instantly realize the equity build. But now that's not the case. Now if I'm a developer and I'm going to build a 3,000, a 3,000 square foot house, I'm going to have to charge probably like at least 750, 850,000 for it, right? To account for that carry. I'm going to buy the land. I'm going to carry this for 18 months while I'm permitting, building all this stuff, right? And that now I have an $800,000 house where the mortgage payment is like probably over 4K. And usually the buyer for those 3,000 square foot houses are veterans. They're the ones buying the higher end houses in the market. Those guys aren't buying nothing now, right? Not at double their OHA. So, but
Right.
what if you ask that same veteran if they wanted to buy a fourplex or a duplex or like a triplex, where three of the units are rented out at 2,100 a month, which is a fair market rent for GURA and the military, right? And so with that, I can get 100% financing from the VA, right? And when I leave,
Right.
I got three tenants in there, whether they're military or subsidized, they're in there, or regular market tenants, right? And I only got to replace one. And oh, by the way, in the meantime, my monthly payment's like 1,600 bucks, right? That
Wow.
is a
Yeah.
mindset decision. That is a why decision. That is a future, a generational wealth building decision. And that's not a decision that gets made by people who are going to leave. That gets made by veterans who live here, who serve here, by firefighters, policemen who have served before. These are the people who can buy these fourplexes and take advantage of the wealth building opportunities in the market. But I'm saying it's there in the market because the data shows it. And so what other opportunities are there in the market? And so that's how we solve the problem.